Okay, good afternoon everyone. In the last class, we have started our next topic, that is semiconductors. In semiconductors, we have discussed the classification of solids based on electrical conductivity. Based on the electrical conductivity, we have discussed classification of solids. In that, we have three types, that is metals, insulators, and third one is semiconductors. So based on electrical conductivity. So whose conductivity is more? That is metals. So metals have conductivity range. I think it is from 10 raised to 2 to 10 raised to 6, right? If I am not wrong. Do you remember yesterday we have discussed that it is from 10 raised to 2 to 10 raised to 8 Siemens per meter. That is the conductivity of metals, and it is having high conductivity, low resistivity. Such substances are called as metals. And the substance which is having low conductivity and high resistivity is called as what? Insulators. The substance which is having conductivity in between them, that is between the metals and the insulators, such as substances are called as what? Semiconductors, right? We have discussed based on the electrical conductivity. We have seen examples for that, and I told you in semiconductors we have two types, that is elemental semiconductors, and next we have compound semiconductors. Elemental semiconductors examples are germanium and silicon. Compound semiconductors examples are, you can take cadmium sulfate, anthracite, polyline. That is all examples for what? That is compound semiconductors. Right. So yesterday I told you, today we are going to discuss classification of that solids based on the which concept? Energy bands. Based on energy band we are going to see. Again we have the same three types, that is conductors, insulators and semiconductors. So before going to see conductors, insulators, semiconductors based on the energy band, we will see some of the definitions like valency band. The first definition we are going to see. What do you mean by valence band? Can anybody define what do you mean by valence band? In chemistry, you might have studied this valence band. What do you mean by valence band? Can anybody define what do you mean by valence band? What do you mean by valence electrons? What do you mean by valence electrons? Tell. I want answer from you people. Simply you people just switch on the camera and you people sit up. Book में कुछ भी नहीं.
The energy bond which includes the energy level of the valence electrons.
The energy band which includes valence electrons, such an energy band is called as valence band. But here what do you mean by valence electrons? What do you mean by valence electrons? Don't know valence electrons? The electrons present in the outermost orbit. The electrons present in the outermost orbit of an atom is known as valence electrons. And the band where these valence electrons are present, such a band is called as what? Valence band. Then how you can define valence band here? The range of energy values occupied by the range of energy values occupied by the valence electrons is known as valence band. The range of energy values occupied by, if you want I'll write it so that you can understand, the range of energy levels occupied by valence electrons is known as valence band. Is it clear everyone? What do you mean by valence band? Yes, outermost electrons are called as valence electrons. So this is your valence band. Then if valence band definition is clear to you, then easily you can understand other definitions. So after valence band we have conduction band. So what do you mean by conduction band? Next we will see. Conduction band here. So the conduction band can be defined as these are the same way you can define conduction band in a same way. Conduction band is nothing but it is the same you can write the range of energy levels occupied by the conduction electrons. The range of energy levels occupied by the conduction electrons is known as what? Conduction band. The range of energy levels occupied by the conduction electrons is known as conduction band. By the valence electrons is known as valence band. Simple. Very simple definition. Now, the gap between these two, the gap between the valence band and the conduction band, the gap between the valence band and the conduction band or the separation between these two bands is known as forbidden energy gap. It is known as forbidden energy gap. It is known as forbidden energy gap. What do you mean by forbidden energy gap? These are 1 mark questions. Okay. So forbidden energy gap, it is the separation between the valence band and the conduction band is known as forbidden energy gap. Is it clear? Very simple definition. So this forbidden energy gap is denoted by the letter Eg. This forbidden energy gap is denoted by the letter Eg. Right? So now we are going to define your solids based on this band theory, based on energy gap you can say, or you can say band theory also. Both are same here. So how you can define the conductors, insulators and semiconductors based on this, that we will see now. Okay. So next is classification of solids on the basis of which, that is energy bands. So this is your next concept. So again, so solids can be classified into 3 types, that is conductors, insulators and semiconductors. So how you can define based on this energy bands here? So one by one we will discuss. The first one we are going to discuss, that is solids. So conductors. The first one we have, that is conductors. So how you can define conductors here? Conductors are those substances in which the valency band and the conduction band overlap with each other. So when they overlap, I hope you will understand what is the meaning of overlap. Means there is no gap between this valency band and the conduction band. Means whatever the electrons are there from the valency band to the conduction band, easily they will move between both the bands here. So when the electrons are moving easily between both the bands, the current flow will be good. So it is called as what? Good conductor. That is nothing but the examples for metals. The example for conductors are metals here. So this is how you can define conductors based on energy gap. How? The conduction band and the valency band overlap with each other. So such a substance, or those are called as what? Conductors. Those are called as what? Conductors here. Conductors are those substances in which the electrical current through them is very easy. The electrical conductivity is very easy. Why it is easy? Because there is a large number of free electrons. First one is there is a large number of free electrons will be available in case of conductors, and the energy gap between them is zero. The energy gap between them is zero. What is the meaning of energy gap between them is zero? The conduction band and the this one valency band are overlapping with each other, or there is no separation between them. So it is called as what? Conductors. They may ask you what is the value of energy gap, that is Eg value for conductors. What is the answer? Eg value, that is a forbidden energy gap for conductors. Eg value, what is the energy gap value for conductors? Just now I told you 0. It is 0. I hope it is clear to everyone. What do you mean by conductors? Why it is called as conductors? Because the current flow will be good in case of conductors. Right? So when there is no energy gap between the conduction band and the valency band, if you give small amount of potential energy also, if you give the small amount of potential, मतलब extra थोड़ा भी उसको supply किए ना energy, easily the electrons will jump from valency band to conduction band. आपको जो valency band रहते हैं उधर free electrons रहते हैं, correct? Valency bands are those where valence electrons are there. Valence electrons मतलब क्या है, वो किसी भी bound से ऐसे bonded नहीं है. They are not holded by any of the forces, so they are free to move. Here, if you give little amount of energy or little source also, then the electrons will jump from valence electrons to the conduction electrons. So it is called as conductors. Is it clear, everyone? What do you mean by conductors based on energy gap? Right? Shall I go for next one? Insulators. You can only define now. Or what are insulators and what are your semiconductors. Okay. Is it clear? Conductors, understand slowly and properly. Okay. Can anybody tell me what do you mean by insulators? Can anybody tell me what do you mean by insulators? Same concept. Faster. Electrons does not flow freely. More gap between conduction band and valence band, which does not allow current to flow through them. Cannot be passed. Yes. Okay. So here you can define insulators, or you can define insulators in the same way. In conductors, the bands are overlapping with each other. Insulators, opposite word, means here there is a large gap between your valency band and the conduction band. There is a large gap between valency band and the conduction band. Here the valency band is completely filled. The valency band is completely filled, but the conduction band is completely empty. It is totally empty. Where a valence conduction band is totally empty. There is no electron, therefore there is no current flow in the case of insulators. But in valence electrons, it is completely filled. But what is the use of that? Unless and until the electrons move from insulating, that is valency band, to the conduction band, there is no current flow. Right? So these are called as what? Insulators. So how you can define insulators are? So if you want with figure, I'll explain. Suppose this is your conduction band and this is your valency band. एक इसमें है, ये आपका conductors में है. That is, both are overlapping with each other. There is no energy gap between them. So this is your conduction band. Next you can take which one? That is insulators. Insulators में क्या रहता है? आपका valency band जो है, they have some separation between. So this is your valency band. So here what happens? The valency band is completely filled with the electrons, but this conduction band is completely empty. But as there is a large gap between them, the electrons cannot move from one band to other band. When there is no electrons are moving, there is no current in the case of insulators. So this is how you can define insulators. Is it clear, everyone? So if you want to make insulators as a conductor, what you need to give? In case of conductors, थोड़ा potential दिए तो भी, electric field दिए तो भी, वो करंट फ्लो दिखाता है. In case of insulators, you need to give large electric field. When you give very large electric field, then some substance will show, that is insulating property से conduction property acquire करते हैं. That is only our third category, that is semiconductors. That is only our third substance called as semiconductors. So what do you mean by semiconductors? Semiconductors are those substances whose conductivity lies between insulators and the conductors. Based on the energy gap, how you can define? Here the energy gap is in between conductors and the insulators. Such a substances are called as what? Semiconductors. How you can define semiconductors? Semiconductors are those substances whose conductivity lies between conductors and insulators. In case of semiconductor, here the valence electrons are partially filled and the conduction electrons are partially empty. Here the valence electrons are partially filled and the conduction band is partially empty. अभी क्या होता है? If you give small amount of temperature at 0 Kelvin, what happens? At 0 Kelvin, there is no flow of current. At 0 Kelvin, semiconductors are insulators only. But at room temperature, some electrons will go from valency band to conduction band. Some electrons will go from valency band to conduction band. So, by that, there is a current flow. So, like this, you can define your semiconductors. How you can define semiconductors? Here, the energy gap is in between conductors and insulators. At 0 Kelvin, there is no electric current in case of semiconductor. But at room temperature, some of the electrons will move from valency band to conduction band and becomes a conductor. So, this is how you can define your semiconductors. So again, if you increase the temperature, पहले 0 Kelvin था, next you will come to room temperature, small conductivity will be there. If you want more conductivity, what you can do? You can increase the temperature further. So by increasing the temperature further, what happens? The semiconductor starts behaving like a conductor. Is it clear? So they will ask you, semiconductors, how you can increase the conductivity of a semiconductor. 4 options will be given, like by increasing the pressure, by increasing the temperature, by increasing volume, some other examples, impurities and all. So as per now, what you can write? By increasing the temperature, you can increase the conductivity of a semiconductor. So I hope it is clear to everyone that how you can define conductors, insulators and semiconductors based on energy gap. Is it clear everyone? Based on energy gap, how you can define all 3 substances? Valence band, conduction band and energy gap definition. सब पता चला, 6 points we have discussed so far now. What do you mean by valence band? What do you mean by conduction band? What do you mean by forbidden energy gap? Then next, conductors, insulators and semiconductors. Any doubt? No? Okay. So next we can go for next point, if it is clear to you. So next you have, that is types of semiconductors. Already in school, maybe 8th or somewhere, people know types of semiconductors, I guess. I think when you were in 8th, these concepts were there, if I am not wrong. Later syllabus they have changed, no? Can anybody tell me types of semiconductors? All of you, once switch on your camera, let me see how many of you are sitting with book. And how many of you are concentrating in class? Can you on your camera? Let me see you once. Either you give me answer or switch on your camera. You have two options. Aishwarya don't want to switch on her camera, so she has given me answer. There are two types. Okay. One more student. Other students. No, three students are not interested to switch on their camera. They have given me answer. Okay, others switch on your camera. I want to see. Four out of 15, only four students have given me the answer. Yes. So we can define semiconductors based on their purity. We can divide it into two types. As you people are telling, it is intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductor. So we have two types of semiconductors, that is intrinsic semiconductors and extrinsic semiconductor. So what do you mean by intrinsic semiconductor? Intrinsic semiconductor means it is the purest form. First one we have intrinsic. So what do you mean by intrinsic semiconductors? It is the purest form of semiconductor. Intrinsic semiconductors are those which is the purest form of semiconductors. Means there are no impurities in this semiconductors. So in case of intrinsic semiconductor, the most commonly used semiconductors are, do you know which are those? So we have two intrinsic semiconductors. Those are germanium and silicon. Germanium and silicon are the examples for intrinsic semiconductors. Okay, so it is the purest form of semiconductor. Germanium symbol is Ge and silicon it is Si. Can anybody tell me what is the which number it is? कौन सा number बोलते हैं उसको? That atomic number, sorry, okay. Yes, what is the atomic number of germanium and silicon? What is the atomic number of germanium and silicon? For germanium, what is the atomic number? 32, yes, very good. And silicon? 14, okay. So for germanium it is 32 and for silicon it is 14. Okay, so you know that atomic number. So intrinsic semiconductors are the purest semiconductors. Example for intrinsic semiconductors are germanium and silicon. Atomic number of germanium and silicon it is 32 and 14 respectively. So here in case of germanium and silicon, if you write the configuration, electronic configuration, the outermost orbit consists of, do you know how many electrons will be there? How many electrons are there in the outermost orbits of this silicon and germanium? 4. It is a tetravalent substance. These two are the tetravalent substance where 4 electrons are there in the outermost orbit. So here, whatever 4 electrons are there, you can show the crystal structure of this germanium silicon in the figure. So how you can write? So for silicon and germanium, so suppose this is your germanium, it consists of 4 valence electrons. So here you can take 1 electron, 1 electron, 1 electron, 1 more electron. Here suppose one more germanium is there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can take one more germanium. So germanium consists of 4 valence electrons. It consists of 4 valence electrons. Now you can take a covalent bond. Here it will form a covalent bond between the neighboring atoms. You can take one more germanium here. and here one more germanium. So like this it will form a crystal structure. Like this it will form a crystal structure of germanium. Silicon भी same है क्योंकि silicon का भी valence electrons are 4 here. It is also a tetravalent substance. It is also a tetravalent substance. Here you can see that all the valence electrons, in the picture you can see all the valence electrons are engaged in the formation of a covalent bond between the neighboring atom. All the valence electrons are engaged between the neighboring atom to form a covalent bond. To form a covalent bond, they are engaged here. Hence, there are no free electrons. Therefore, we don't have a free electrons in case of intrinsic semiconductors. Therefore, the electrical conductivity is 0. The forbidden energy gap is, for germanium, it is 0.7. Forbidden energy gap. You know what do you mean by forbidden energy gap? Means the separation between the conduction band and the valence band. Here in case of germanium it is 0.7 and in case of silicon it is 1. It is 1 electron volt. Here it is 0.7 electron volt. Here you can see at absolute zero temperature all the electrons are held tightly. In case of semiconductor electrons, the inner orbit of electrons are bound whereas the valence electrons are engaged in the covalent bonding. At this temperature, the covalent bonds are very strong and there is no free electrons. Therefore, the semiconductor behaves as a perfect insulators. Here the semiconductors behaves as a perfect insulators because intermolecules are engaged in between them. And the valence electrons are busy with forming covalent bond with the neighboring atom. This is the crystal structure of germanium. This is regarding the intrinsic semiconductors. So, what they will ask you question in this example for intrinsic semiconductor, one question, and another question is what is the energy gap value for silicon and germanium. These 3 points you remember from this, that much it is enough for you, right? Okay. Okay. So next. Here suppose if you supply energy to this, what will happen in chemistry you people have studied. Suppose if I supply energy to this crystal structure, what will happen? Can anybody tell me what will happen here? What will happen if the temperature is increased? What happens to the covalent bond? Yes, the covalent bond will break here. The covalent bond will break, and when covalent bonds are break here, there will be some free electrons which will constitute very small amount of current. Which will constitute very small amount of current. So, when these electrons are removed, the removal of one electron leave the vacancy. So, here what happens? When the bond will break by supplying some amount of energy, that time here the electrons becomes free. So what these electrons will do? The electrons will be free for conduction. The electrons will go out. So therefore here electron is missing. It will create some gap here. This gap is only called as what? Hole. This gap is only called as hole here. Okay. So whatever the gap is created, this gap is called as the missing electron in the covalent bond. This missing electron is called as hole, which acts as a positive charge. You know that electrons are negative charge, and here whatever the gap is created, that gap we call it as hole, which acts as a positive charge. Which acts as a positive charge. Okay. So the thermal energy, whatever energy or temperature you are giving, it will create hole electron pair. It will create hole electron pair here. Do you agree with this? When temperature is supplied, the breaking of bond takes place. When bonds are breaked, the electrons will come out. The electrons will come out and it will create a gap. Whatever gap is created, that gap is called as hole. It behaves as a positive charge. So whatever thermal energy you are supplying, it will create a whole electron pair. It will create a whole electron pair. Therefore, we say that in case of intrinsic semiconductors, number of electrons is equal to number of holes. Number of electrons is equal to number of holes here. So because of this reason, there is no much electric current in case of a intrinsic semiconductor. So this is regarding your intrinsic semiconductor. If you have any doubt regarding intrinsic semiconductor, you can ask me. Any doubt regarding intrinsic semiconductor? If no, I have a question for you. Okay. So as you people are telling no, can you tell me what are responsible for small amount of current in case of intrinsic semiconductor? मतलब मीनिंग बोलती हूँ मैं मतलब थोड़ा करंट फ्लो होता है that current is due to what in case of intrinsic semiconductor either because of holes or because of electrons. It is because of the small amount of current is because of see it will create a electron and hole pair. Therefore, both are responsible here. Whatever the total current, small amount of current you are getting, it is because of both holes and the electrons. So this completes intrinsic semiconductor. So in the next class we will go for extrinsic semiconductor. Okay, I hope it is clear to you.